Excellent.
Hey, what's up folks? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noah Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit. Joining me every week is my brother Pedro.
Good morning, everyone. Pedro S. Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right, this is a show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. Hello everybody, hanging out in the Discord chat room. If you'd like to join us during the show, you can join us in the Discord chat room. We got a link for you guys up there at the top, purple bar. We'll take a few moments to welcome everybody to the show. Thank you everybody for joining us live. We got a fun, packed, inspirational project thing for everybody.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to everyone hanging out all over the world, giving out shout outs to everybody hanging out in all of the chat rooms. We are on YouTube, on the Discord, Periscope, Twitch. Good morning, Andy Calloway, Blitz City, Liz,
Hey.
Paul Cutler, Skur, Rosin, Mike P, Cup of Coffee, I love that name,
Really?
Wester,
Great
Vince, good morning. Everybody hanging out? Go ahead and jump into the show.
Cool. We'll keep checking back in the Discord chat room if anybody has any fun memes and things. GIFs, GIFs are all fair and fun.
And that is where to head to see all the banter, all the GIFs, the GIFs.
Great name title. We're going to change the name of the show. Pedro Noah's Excellent Adventure. Cool. Well, I got some excellent news for you folks. Let's head on over to Adafruit.com/free. We got some new freebies. Newly added was the keyboard RP2040, but let's go through the list of it.
Now that's an awesome freebie.
Yeah, for orders $99 or more, you'll get that half size from a Proto breadboard. We all know and love this one. Great way to get your projects on a permanent, lovely PCB. For orders that are $49 or $149 or more, you'll get the KB2040. That's that awesome Raspberry Pi RP2040 board. Has tons of GPIO, stemma connector, perfect Arduino Pro Micro kind of format for all sorts of keyboard projects. And then for orders that are $200 or more, you'll get the free keyboard, the half-size Perma Proto, and free ground shipping for UPS and continental US only. So check out Adafruit.com/free for all the deets. All these things get added automatically to your cart, so you don't have to do any extra coupon codes or anything. Yeah, so check those out, and be sure you have an account with Adafruit, so you don't get the same thing twice, right? Cool. Heading on over to the jobs board at jobs.adafruit.com, you can see all the latest available gigs that have been posted. I see a new one this week. We have a new one. It's a Matrix Portal project utilizing Wi-Fi. Check that one out. It's a contract position, so if you're interested in checking that out, head over to jobs.adafruit.com. If you are interested in getting a digest of weekly products that are added in the Adafruit shop, you can subscribe to the newsletter, the new newsletter, by heading over to adafruit.com/newsletter. If you want daily content, stories, and tips, adafruitdaily.com is the place to go. You can subscribe to different categories such as maker business, 3D printing, biohacking, and our favorite Python on microcontroller newsletter. So check that one out. Shout out to everybody for subscribing to that one. It's a great opportunity for folks to share their Python related projects to lots of folks. So thank you everybody for subscribing. Shout out to Paul Cutler for doing up the Circuit Python Show podcast. Check this out if you haven't yet. Subscribe using your favorite podcasting service. That's the Circuit Python Show podcast. Check it out. And shout out to Paul Cutler. And that is all the stuff. So this week we have a fun project. We got some prototyping. I think we got a shop talk. We'll talk about tripods, huh?
I think you got that layer by layer as well.
I got a layer by layer. That's right. That's the shop
talk.
Community makes. We have 2 of them this week, and I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
let's go ahead and
we'll
jump
right
into the show. A couple more shout outs before we start. Charles Menaford's hanging out. 560's joining in. And over in Brazil, we have Marcelo.
Hello.
Good morning.
Cool.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into this week's Very utilitarian, but still fun project, of course, with Lego.
Hello.
So PT had a really good idea. There's this really cool app that allows you to take your spare mobile phone, in this case it's an iPhone, and turn it into a webcam, because we all know how horrible any built-in webcam on a laptop is, or even the little Logitechs. Getting something that is, pretty high quality, that has really good autofocus abilities, and the colors and all that stuff is gonna run you, might as well get like a little digital camera at that point. But if you already have a spare phone, or when you're doing broadcasting, you're not gonna need your phone as much, go ahead and use that as one of the broadcasting cameras. So of course, naturally, we're gonna have to add the adapters, make them a Lego compatible. So this is what's pulling all the weight here. It's this little 2x3 studded, or actually no, tubes, right? Is that the name of it? The tubes?
Sure, I call them tubes.
That go.
The studs are the things on top.
Yeah, these guys, so they click right in there. And here's the secret sauce, having the 3/8 to 1/4 adapter. This adapter is used widely in cameras, and it allows you to take something like a 20 to 20 adapter and add your camera tripod, like so. So you can attach your phone onto this and have a really high quality camera. And this is actually what we're using right now.
Yay.
Look at this.
Little mini.
Look at the focusing.
Very good focusing, yeah. So
you don't have to go into the camera settings, mess
Right,
around, and be like,
slider.
oh no,
Yeah,
it
it's
stopped
very nice.
working.
Yeah, so we're using the Camo app. We'll take a look at that. But right now we just want to highlight the hardware and
Exactly.
the 3D printed bit. So tell me about the 3D printed bit. What makes it different than this one?
Which one?
Our previous ones. We've done a previous project where we
yeah.
It's a webcam cover, right? It covers your webcam. That's built into the display, like a laptop or an iMac in this case.
Yeah.
So you thought it'd be good to kind of make it so you're not blocking the sensors. There's a bunch of sensors now on all these new laptops, and you wanted to refigure it so that the shape doesn't obstruct the sensors on a laptop or desktop.
That is.
So that's the different shape here. So you notice these two are different shapes, and you kind of want to make it a different shape and profile to kind of fit your bezel. So yeah, tell me more about the design.
That is the problem that we're solving here, with having a little cutout that is over the notch, and not just the MacBooks have the notch. We had to get a PC recently to make sure that
Dell laptop really nice one.
that some of the projects that we're working on actually work without us having to jump through hoops and install an Xcode and all that crazy stuff. It just works natively on Windows, and they have the exact same problem with the notch going on that would be covered by our older design. And one of the other things too that we did was slimmed it down, optimized it to make sure that while be nice and sturdy, isn't you're gonna fall apart on you when you put all the weight of a camera and a tripod and all that stuff on there. So yeah, it's the little cutaway. And the new part that we made, which I thought we had released with past projects, but apparently we did not. This is the new edition. It's a little brick that lets you attach the 3/4 to 1/4. So of course all these are in the shop, so you can build any of these yourself. So we have the threaded geometry goes right into the brick that allows you to easily put that in here. And these have these nice little flat-headed screws using just the back of a tweezer here. Allows it to go in there really nice. And then the other bits are of course going to be the 20 to 20 bits here. And we've used these on quite a lot of projects to connect two different parts together.
Two different female ends.
We also have the swivel ball head as well. So this guy right here, not the actual phone holder. So we should actually probably start looking for really good ones to stock. And this is the one we have in the shop. Nice and sturdy. Should be able to hold the weight even of one of the larger
about a pound.
Macs.
It wouldn't go over a pound for something like this swivel head.
Yeah, one of the things I like too is you're able to adjust the angle, but also the little thread here. So if you mount this and it's in the way of your Lego, you can move it to somewhere else while still having the adjustability of having this little angler here.
Cool.
So let's see what else can I talk about. This guy here, pretty much it. Yeah, just simple
Yeah.
project to.
PLA prints.
Yeah.
We'll talk about some slice settings and some support material, and how to customize it.
Yeah, and I guess one of the other heroes too is the app that allows you to give us such a high quality stream for all this.
Yeah. I guess you want to talk about the app. Do you want to go to the Learn Guide?
Let's go jump into the Learn Guide.
All right. Thank you for telling me what to do. All right. So if you head on over to learn.adafruit.com, see all the latest guides that were added this week, and you'll be able to find the Lego phone holder guide. So the overview page just walks you through the project, what it is, why you'd want one, and here's a look at some of the hardware. All of the stuff is in stock here. So the camera, tripod, 3/8 to 1/4 20 screw adapter. Those are great. The 1/4 20 to 1/4 20 screw adapter, and the swivel head pan tilt shoe mount adapter is also available and all in stock. So it's great to use metal parts, folks, where you can, especially with something like a camera that has like a little bit of weight to it. We really recommend getting when you're going to take it on and off over and over and over again. I'm a fan of heat set inserts, but in this case, this is a great way to kind of do it. And you can 3D print 3/8 threads very nicely with just kind of your regular 0.2 layer height. And the reason why this isn't a 1/4 20 thread is because over time it's going to wear out, and you're more likely to keep this inside. You're more likely to keep this threaded insert inside, and what you're constantly taking off is the camera or the holder itself. So that's why we really recommend getting metal hardware for things that are going to be reused and taken out multiple times. So there's
that exact question was just asked in the chat room from 560. They're asking if it was a threaded insert. No, it is all modeled in there. You can adjust the threading if you have some tolerance settings for your printer. So this is just an iPhone mini, so unfortunately we don't have like the macro lens on there.
Gosh darn better than
a lot better than the webcam. Yeah, you can see there it handles it pretty well. There are support materials that I had to turn on just for the roof here.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, it prints out really good. One of the other things that we'll mention, just because we're already talking about it, and we'll see it in the printing guide, the only thing that I had to do for settings-wise was print at 150 microns or 0.5 for the resolution, just so we can have that like silky
0.15?
Yeah, 0.15
millimeter layer height.
Yeah, so it's nice and silky when you attach the studs together.
Yeah, I should try that.
Yeah, and it's like very secure in there, like so secure. I'm always scared I'm gonna pop off one of the studs. But you kind of want it to be nice and secure when you have a phone on your laptop
or desktop.
Yeah, it works for both.
Cool. So, TV or whatever. Whatever monitor or
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Cool. So yeah, modeled threads is a good tip here. Okay. All right. Heading over to the slice setting parts. So you have some.
So you have the Fusion 360 files. You can of course edit the thickness if you have a laptop that has a thicker bezel or display. If you want to add this onto your monitor or a shelf or anything like that, you can go ahead and grab those files for that. But we have STL files for the MacBook and the Dell PC that I got. The sizes are there listed. The MacBook is about 5 millimeters thick. Then the PC that we have is 7.3 millimeters thick. And that is accounting for the little gaskets that they have on the lids of the monitor.
Oh, cool. All right.
Down here, usual PLA settings, of course. Everybody's probably going to say to print it in nylon. Not a bad idea to have something that's a little bit more...
PETG is good too.
PETG, yes, PETG. And yeah, just 0.15 for the layer height, or 150 microns. The infill doesn't have to be so dense, since it is just like a couple of roofs for the solid part of the plate. And then you are going to need supports just because of the way that it overhangs. It's so much. And
I'm going to jump.
Yeah, that's what that looks like there, all underneath here.
Yeah, since it's the surface that's going to touch your bezel, you're not going to see it, so it doesn't. It looks not the best.
And then,
if you want to avoid supports, you could always cut it in half.
I mean, you're gonna Yeah, I guess you could if you
Cut it in half
cut it right
or
here. If you
yeah.
thicken up the base
Sure, yeah.
right here, that is possible. But
Yeah. All it's kind of just tips. If you want to do it a little bit different, you can try
that's
that
fine
too.
with supports, though.
Yeah, supports are fine, dude. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
My brain's like, hey, you can cut that in half and not
Yeah.
supports.
The usual support settings that I like for this is the extrusion width for the supports is actually smaller than what the actual the width is for the actual part that we're printing. So in this case, it's 0.2. So you make it nice and thin, so it's easy to remove. And then the Z height, have that spaced out a little bit, depending on how good your tolerances for your printer is. And then for this one, you definitely want to have the interface and the roof supports enabled. That'll just give it a nicer finish for the top.
I like that.
The build plate adhesion type, you want to make sure that it is brim because of these two little little feet here.
Serious, like nothing.
Yeah, go ahead and jump over. Yeah. So I tried printing it with just a skirt, and these would always get knocked off. Even if I had the Z hop enabled, they would always get just thrown off the bed. So you want to make sure that the brim is big enough so it's unifying with the brim from the back plate here and then all of support, so that it has a nice adhesion. So even if it does get knocked over, it looks like it did happen a couple of times right here. It's not going to fly off the bed.
Yeah, aesthetically this looks great. They look like feet for furniture. But if you didn't worry about that, and you just want to extend this whole thing out, it wouldn't obstruct anything, right? This is the sensors right here. There's nothing over here.
So on the PC there are sensors on this side and two on this side, so that's why I didn't do that.
I'm glad I asked, because every design decision is dictated by my constraints, my reason. So that's why you did it that way. That's all I wanted to get at.
Yep, and then to have a nice bit of supports on here, you have this giant fillet on the sides here, and then on the back part here. So you have a very nice, sturdy, geometric, connection where everything's all attached together.
I like the fillet there, the little arc here. It makes it look like furniture. But yeah, all things to consider when you're designing a thing. So that's one thing.
Yep.
Two things.
What else? Let's see. Since this is a pretty quick project, trying to abstract as much info as we can out of it.
We're good there. We can look at the other Learn Guide. I guess.
Oh, yeah. So people usually ask, where did we get the minifig?
Type in Lego in the Learn Guide, and you'll see all our Lego projects. One of them here is the webcam cover. So we showed it off a little bit, but this is supposed to cover your webcam. This one doesn't cover your webcam. Like, it's sort of the point of it. So Adabot is a little Lego minifig that you can 3D print. My gosh, look at him. They.
That's all the parts?
Yeah. It's always good to
I know, it's so adorable. Seeing how tiny these little parts are. Go there. We won't reiterate all the steps you got to do. It's definitely want to print at 100 microns for this one.
There's a nice, maybe a half an hour tutorial on how to make it parametric, so you can build your Lego studs and build your design so that it's scalable, whether you want more studs or just a bigger base plate. This is a good tutorial you can check out for just bare basics of parametric Lego parts.
And it definitely applies to the model for this one as well. If you go into the sketches inside this Fusion 360 file, if you adjust the gap opening here, the entire model will update with it.
Dope. Yay.
The only thing I didn't do was create the patterns that'll create the additional studs.
It's a hard-coded quantity when you're doing rectangular patterns. You can always change it up.
Yep, super easy since the spacing is pretty dead on. It's 8 millimeters. It's an 8 by 8 millimeter square. So whatever that square is, you just draw another 8 by 8 on there, and
the spacing is 8 millimeters. The diameter of the studs is 4.9 millimeters. The height of the stub is 1.9 millimeters.
Yep.
I know all this because I've just
there's
been in it so much. Yeah.
It's always a Lego project multiple times a year, so all those numbers stick in your head.
I do, yeah. And chart. It's like
it
breaks down.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Features.
So I think that's pretty much it. A nice little simple project. Of course, the whole main hero
I forgot
here.
to say, if you wanted to widen the base, I could print it. I'm like, hey Pedro, just add this on top.
Definitely
He's
could.
like, yeah, that's right, you can.
Yeah.
Lego's ABS is stronger, and there's a bajillion sizes of the Lego, so the fact that you can just put a bigger base on top is pretty rad. I mean, that's the whole damn point, right?
Yeah, and of course you can, after you get all that done, is going to be, you know, what creatively can you
yeah, you're actually using this on your actual laptop.
Yeah. So when I got the new MacBook with the notch on it, I couldn't use any of these. So really cool that Phil wanted one that didn't obstruct any of the sensors on there. So, and then that obviously gave me a chance to go ahead and release this model.
The actual bit there.
And yeah, just it's going to be up to you on creatively adding these, since, you know, when you're at work typing away, it's always cool to be able to glance up and look at whatever cool little minifig design you got on top of your computer.
Huge fan of designing Lego parts and adapting it with existing Lego parts. That's kind of
this one's kind of silly.
Interchangeable.
Laptop on top of a laptop.
That's very nice. The old 1990s laptop. It's thick, chompy. Should make a little 3D printed cover to go over. And then put the nano figurine.
That's
on top.
what is it? Interception.
Interception.
Inception.
Conception of your interception. All right, we got some cool gifts here on the Discord. Shout out to Yanni, always coming through with these great gifts. We have a little R2D2 and the
C3PO and
we don't have a port. We need ourselves a port. But yeah, Lego time, Lego in the evening. When you have a 3D printer, you can 3D print a Lego anytime. Sorry.
Let me go into the chat room, put all the links to these. Well, we, I guess, queue up the, what are we prototyping?
Yeah, there's a twofer, so you get two different prototypes. We're on a theme here with miniature cuteness, so to go with our kind of
we can have them look like they're watching TV.
TV. So this is one of our new Adafruit displays. It's the 1.4.
That one's the 147.
1.47 TFT. It's an IPS display. It's really nice. Let me plug it in. I need a cable.
Actually, no. Let me just plug the battery in. So
cool. Yeah,
this is all press fit for the face. So if you don't want to have a TV, you can just pop this off and add in like something like, you know, one of the Steam Decks. I actually didn't design this one for that screen, but that is how these little feet on there.
Better as a TV.
Yeah.
This display is a little bit weird in terms of the scaling of it, so we wanted to make a nice enclosure that really matched the aspect ratio and just the thing. Yeah.
I didn't add the slide switch in there yet because
prototype.
I want to...
So it's running off of a Feather RP2040. A couple weeks ago we were using Circuit Python. Yeah, I know, it's a good cable. We're going to use Circuit Python to do some sprite sheet animations. It's one of our favorite things to do. Lamar did an update to an animated GIF library in Arduino. So we're able to use both Arduino and CircuitPython to do this project. CircuitPython using its USB flash drive mass storage capabilities to store the GIFs, and then Arduino to do the speediness of C code, and it can play the frame rate. Not too bad on a GIF. So these are regular GIFs. They haven't been converted to H files or sprite sheets. They're just standard GIFs that tend to play really well here. So.
I want to go ahead and highlight that point that you just said. Don't have to make sprite sheets. So before, when we wanted to make a little animated display, we had to break down each frame into a very long. So it's having a strip. Yeah, a
which is cool. Perfect, it's a really cool way to do it in CircuitPython, especially if you're doing like games and stuff. But for this one, we just wanted to be able to toss it, the ease of just throwing in a regular GIF and then quickly displaying it on there. It's a really neat way. And it's fast. Like, it's really, really fast. So shout out to Lamar and the folks that worked on the animated GIF library. Yeah.
Yeah, so the inspiration came from, was a tweet where they were playing, like, I think it was a combination of that Simpsons Raspberry Pi powered little TV.
Simpsons Raspberry Pi, yeah.
Like, played all the episodes for that, and then...
A small switch ornament.
That's where this little guy comes in. So both of these screens, brand new sizes and the roundness of them.
We wanted to... Corners. This one does not.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So it's just this one. Yeah. But they're both brand new screens that were just put in not too long ago, but wanted to highlight.
Yeah, they're fresh. They're IPS displays. so
Yeah.
really good viewing angles.
They look better. They'll look better when I remove the protective coatings, but because I'm still prototyping, I don't want to remove those and scratch them just yet.
Just like Lamar. We're waiting for the Queen of England to come so we can.
I'm waiting for the video to start being recorded so I can remove those because I'll get it on video.
We got hero shots and Lamar's like, "Can you reshoot because you have the protective screen?"
Remove.
You're like,
"Whoops!"
Oh man, because you're so used to it.
Yeah. So yeah, and then okay, so we went off track there. So
Off the rails.
The little tiny pendant ornament was the other.
Yeah, it's got a little.
The other
great
design inspiration
not
for that.
wearable, more for your Lego what the dioramas.
Yes. So this is the oh come on, not the 4.7 screen size.
4.9.
There you go, 4.9
Yeah, it's
size
very
screen.
Kind of wide screen, so it works good for this game.
Here's JP.
Why did JP
playing
get in there?
Doom.
JP, you're just all over the place. That's when he was.
We need to
the
update
model
that
for the
with
guy.
Lars doing that instead of the Badgers.
A Lars gift. And this is something we found, I think.
So again, pointing out how fast that Arduino is able to spit these GIFs out.
Yeah.
You can see how good the frame rate is on this, especially with this little death scene here in Breath of the Wild.
But you can really see how good it's just 320 by 170. But it looks fantastic because the IPS display just makes it look great.
Yeah, the only thing that stinks about having the different sizes, because this one is 172 or 320 by 172, is that you do have to manually scale the canvas size to work on this.
Oh, right, okay.
And then one of the other bugs that we found, which is why we got the PC, is that when it tries to read an invisible file that Macs just love to create, you open a file, there's a ton of files that it creates in there, invisibility. Yeah, there is.
Terminal tricks you can do.
Yep,
But we're not there yet.
Windows, you
just
just
so you're aware,
drag and drop a file.
Windows just works.
You can grab any of the
So
GIFs.
when are these next week?
This is next week.
Next week,
Yeah, almost done.
folks. Both running off of the RP2040 Feather, which is available. It's kind of the only available chip right now.
That is what she wanted to highlight. Originally, these were going to be all for the M4s, but kind of hard to get the SAMDs.
So shout out to Raspberry Pi. RP2040 is great. We're good. We're using Phil Hauer's Arduino core for the RP2040. So check out the Learn Guide.
Yep, we'll take a look at all
for
of
setting up your Feather with Arduino. Feather RP2040.
This is what the other one's going to look like when I'm done filming all the stuff. You got the slide switch in there that lets you recharge the battery and turn off the circuit. And then the little mounting plate on here for attaching the Feather to the screen. So you can have a nice little circuit sandwich to have everything nice and compact.
It's also important to note all the feathers, all the Adafruit feathers have built-in LiPo charging over USB, so you can always recharge that battery over USB.
So you can kind of see here it is recharging.
It is, there's a yellow LED.
And then everything is snap fit. And then I think we mentioned this last week. The faces are interchangeable, so if Nintendo Switch isn't your thing, you can put on a little Steam Deck. So detail there.
Pink feathers are in stock while supplies last.
Hopefully they
Lovely
do.
board, lots of GPIO, lots of features, with stands, dropping, has a built-in NeoPixel, and that lovely stemma connector there. Our favorite Feather right now, because it's the only one you can get. Plus, it's just that great anyway. You can swap between CircuitPython and Arduino, or you can use both of them at the same time, like we have been. One can use the flash storage, and the other one does the
playback. Yeah, so
pink. Yeah, it comes in pink.
Sort of a yin and yang that you're able to have both of
Right.
those on there. So cool.
Right.
A little bit of a
Yin and
juggling.
Yin and yang.
You have to flash
Cool.
every time you want to get back into the hard drive.
Compiling takes like a minute, but come on, it don't matter.
Yeah. And then glancing over at the.
Yeah, any comments on the GIF
Can you use the
stuff?
threaded insert in wood too?
Yeah, you could.
Could you?
Yeah,
Huh.
I have a screw tap. Get yourself a screw tap, a 1/4 and a 3/8 screw tap. I have done that. It works really well. Yeah.
Let's see, was it
So much
5.6?
easier to use wood.
5.6 comment from 560 saying that loves the console style TV idea for that screen.
Yeah, it's fun.
Forgot to show off the little
Our VCR.
little VCR. I gotta print out the antenna next for
Right.
that, but yeah, here's your little TV,
So
living
cute.
room TV.
Yeah, great for your diorama or whatever
Again.
you're doing. Yeah. your Lego build or something would be fun.
Dollhouse build, or yeah, Lego build, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
cool for that. So yeah, we'll go over these next week.
Yay! Yep. Next week.
All right.
Cool.
Haha, yeah. John in Doom.
Yeah, isn't that cool? I should put up the original GIF in there. Do that real quick while I do my thing, or do you want to post tweets? What do you want to do?
Let me post links to all the stuff here. What do you got? Oh yeah, I got another putter type. This one is super cool.
Yeah, so we got ourselves some mirrored film, and it's some see-through mirrors. So we thought, a lot of Raspberry Pi smart mirrors are really fun and cool to build. What if we made like a really, really small one for your desktop? So this one's using the Adafruit Pi Portal. That's the IoT display. I'll just look here for now and direct my attention here. So yeah, it's a 3D printed case with a piece of acrylic that I cut, and then I applied this film. So this film is special. It's a mirrored film, but you're able to see through it when you have light shine through it. So that's how you're able to get this kind of effect. So the idea is to do sort of a weather station, an update to the weather station code so that it's portrait mode. Because normally the Pi Portal is a landscape, so we're doing this portrait mode. And right now it's pulling the Adafruit quotes using the Adafruit IO API. And yeah, that's the kind of a thing right now. We have some port openings here for micro USB and the SD card slot, and we also have the ambient light sensor here, so you'll be able to kind of wave your hand and turn it on and off. But yeah, kind of a neat thing. It'll be powered by a USB cable, because it doesn't need to be. It's supposed to be on your desk, and then we have this kind of funky arm, and it's supposed to resemble like a mirror that you would use. So yeah, kind of a neat, simple, but neat effect. Like, I've seen the smart mirrors, and that's cool. They're normally big, so we've been seeing smaller ones on some of the websites, so I got inspired to do that too. Shout out to BT for bringing that to my attention. But you can articulate it. Almost looks like an R2D2 with the arms with that R2D2. But yeah, no need for slide switcher thing. Oh yeah, we got a reset button here, so
Bam.
There's a reset button. That's what it looks like. It's just a regular mirror, but it's fun to see a terminal come up there and think, what is going on with this mirror? And there's like and interestingly enough, the Pi portals are in stock.
I just put the link in there.
M4 with it's an M4 with the ESP32 kind of coprocessor, and there's a camera looking at you. There's a nice quote from Isaac Newton. So yeah, smart mini mirror. A lot of mini stuff going on. Maybe I should have used the Pi Portal Pint, which is the smaller. But I think there's like more of the Pi Portal Classics in stock.
There's Titano.
Cool. So that will be I think in sometime in June, because we're at the end of May. So probably the second week of June. So be on the lookout for that one.
You only got like
That's this week's Timelapse. So, do a quick shop talk if you want to tweet that we're about to promote some regulars. Yeah, so recently I created some new 3D models. So let's go ahead and go to the Adafruit CAD Parts GitHub repository. I can add a link someday, somewhere, somehow.
Oh, I can add that.
Yeah, Safari's is really chipping me out right now. It's like, where's the stuff? Oh boy, I can't. Safari's like never been there before, so I don't know how to get to it. I think it's Adafruit _ CAD there it is, parts. Thank you, Safari, for remembering. So if we go to commits, you can see the latest parts that were added. We got a lot of parts. I won't name all of them, but feel free to make part requests using our issues tab. I've been going through there and just making a bunch of them. So I've reached out to all the people that submitted those, and I just post the link to the part. So if you are looking for a part, shout out. Yeah, here are the parts. So with that, I came up with a layer by layer that shows you how to generate headers for various PCBs. So in this case, it's a 2x20 GPIO header, but the interesting thing is that this header is a surface mount header. It's a low profile header. You've probably seen these in some of Adafruit's Raspberry Pi bonnets. So as a part of Fusion 360's electronics Eagle CAD integration, they have a built-in package generator that allows you to create a bunch of different parts for PCBs to make 3D models of your PCBs. So this one, in this tutorial, I just kind of walk through some of the things to look out for when you're generating these style of headers, but also as a way to say, hey, there's a lot of new templates for generating, and I've been starting to use those more and more, and I thought this one was a really kind of universal one. It's always good to model your headers to ensure that your enclosures and everything has good tolerances and good spacing and clearances. So check that one out. It is a nice 10-minute, refresher on how to use the package generator, Fusion 360. And don't forget the CAD parts. There's lots of CAD parts in there. And I'll be adding more as time progresses.
Awesome.
Cool. Where's Discord?
Let's see. Quick question. Dio 20. About the little VCR. Yeah. I'm not printing the part. It's just a little filament that goes inside there is what these little holes are sized for. Yeah. So you just use 175 filament to go in there, and then just bend, how the antenna wires are usually bent. So that's how that works there.
Cool.
And then Andy Calloway was suggesting using a couple of pins. It's a good idea too.
That's a good idea, yeah. Header pins.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, or an LED upside down.
Just
stick it in there. Boop. An LED, just stick it in there.
Uh-huh.
That would work. All
Let's
right.
see, I posted a link to the layer by layer, the whole
Thanks.
playlist there, and then the screen links for that, PyPortal and the 147 and the, oh my god, why do I keep forgetting the other bigger one? The 4.9.
4.9. Excellent. All right, you folks ready for Community Mix?
Let's see. Rufus is asking 3D enclosure for John's private pick of the week. That was the iPod scroller, right?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Didn't Liz make one?
She did. So if you want an enclosure to house, and there's a model for it. Wait, I haven't released it yet because I still got to make the thing. I'm working on it. add an issue, a part request, and I will. Wait, no, there already is one.
Whoops.
I'm getting on it. Give me a second. give me a day or two.
Where is it?
But no,
there
it's
it
a
is.
good point. Thanks.
Is this it right here? The BLE scroller.
Right. Yeah.
Check out
Go
the
ahead
one
and check
that
out
Liz
Liz's,
made. I'm posting the link right here.
What is it, Doom and chill?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a nice enclosure. It turns it into a BLE controller, HID controller, so you can use it to control music, play games. It's very, very cool, and it uses the Feather RF52840. But yeah, I think the model has it in there too, the Fusion 360 model.
Okay.
So you can pull it out of there.
Yeah.
But give me a moment because it's very particular with the pin sizes. I have to model the top bit. I have the PCB generated because Fusion generates it for you out of Eagle. But then actually creating the bit there is something I haven't done yet. There is a technical sheet for it, and we have a learn guide and all that, so you can check that out if you kind of want to do the heavy lifting of modeling out the piece here. But yeah, they have a pretty decent data sheet. Let's take a look at it.
If you just want to print out the one that Liz has, though, there's the link there. You can quickly just print that one out.
A black one? Yeah, you can just print that out. If you just want a feather and and the scroll wheel, yeah. This is what I'm gonna have to do. It looks what do you call it? Intimidating. Because there's a lot of data and a lot of very specific pin placements. Maybe somebody's already done a CAD. I'll do some little bit of research and see if anyone's CAD'd this one up yet. But if not, I'll go ahead and make it a couple hours, maybe an hour. But yeah, check it out. What were we on? Community Makes?
Let's jump over to Community Makes.
Cool. That's a good little side thing. All right, Community Makes. This week, 3D printing something from the community. This week, retro-inspired RGB VGA cables. These cables, I remember them being kind of the standard display monitor cable
a while.
for a while, for throughout all of the 90s. So
Weird
this was
transition.
a bit of a viral thing that happened on social medias. Some folks saw that this was an actual injection molded add-on for USB-C cables. They weren't being sold, or something happened, so the community put it on themselves to model it, and multiple folks have modeled them. So Pedro, you printed a few of them, and you came up with this model particularly that you really liked. So you picked this one as the 3 Tuesdays time lapse.
Yeah, so this is a 2-part design. Nice little shell that should be able to house any of your USB-C cable. So take a look at the inside here. It's just a little cutout, so you can insert that in there. And it has a nice little press fit. I did see other models where this little bit here does actually turn, and you can add a screw on there. That'll come out the side there. Unfortunately, the geometry, we'll take a look at what a lot of them look like, is not the best.
Your mileage may vary.
Yeah, but this one turned out, worked with a bunch of the cables that we already have.
Right.
I like that it just press fits. Like I didn't have to glue anything together.
Yeah, it's cool. I like when it's a snug press fit. Yeah, so kind of neat. If you're nostalgic for it, I don't really care for VGA. I don't think people do. They just think it's funny.
So yeah, one of the things that they did like about this is how it does
It's
have
very
that.
tactical.
Well, that too, but the one that has
you
the
could
working
make it really,
thumb
really,
screws,
yeah.
you can actually make it, attached to something. So that was, what they really liked about it, having a really secure cable that's being secured with screws.
Right. You could
But
actually
if you just want to have it
up
for looks,
a CRT monitor with the VGA cable, you just pick it up through the, because it's so strong.
and this does work with a variety of the cables that we have here, like in the shop and stuff. This one is just a USB to micro.
USB-C to
USB-C to micro B. Yeah, I gotta be very specific on
You
these.
sure do.
So many.
So let's take a look at the design. This one was by Jesse Banks on Thingiverse.
Yeah.
Thingiverse user B5.
Prints flat.
Beefy,
Yep.
I think. But yeah, Jesse is their name, and there's some photos of the make of the model printed out in that very great blue color.
Yeah, it looks.
This right here showcases, I guess some of the other models had some geometry issues, maybe
Not the
some
best.
flip normals or
Yeah.
whatever. That could translate into bad G code tool paths. So that's why I think Jesse kind of remodeled it. But yeah, it's a nice no supports print. 2 halves, mirrored, not even mirrored, just print this twice, right?
A little bit deceiving there, what you see in the time lapse there, because it doesn't look as interesting when you print something flat. So I'm printing it vertically in the time lapse.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, so
No,
no, the
yeah,
actual
because-
orientation is flat on the bed like that. Sorry,
even watch
I
the time
sometimes have to do that just because it doesn't look interesting at all when you do the time lapse. Like a lot of the things that were sent as suggestions doesn't work because of it doesn't look interesting at all.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah,
Camera magic is a real thing.
you got to make it look pretty.
Movie magic.
Yeah.
Alright, well anyway, that's how you print it, flat like that.
Yep.
The original design had dimensions that did not fit my USB-C cables.
That was the thing I ran
knobs
into.
had tiny attachments to the rest of the model that would break easily. No, the
Yep.
model was a mess on the inside with the weird features causing me to print artifacts on the first layer.
Yeah.
There you go. So if you want to check it out, there's some other probably versions of it. It's been remixed from this one. So we might as well bring up the original one by Verde Fabro.
Dead giveaway that it might not have worked there since there's no pictures of the actual print.
I see. Alright. So if you want to 3D print one of these VGA doodads,
Nostalgia.
there's
Nice little funny comment over on the the Twitch McGruffin saying this reminds me of when Arduino still needed RS-232 cables to program. It's a nice little retro callback to the old days.
Yeah.
It's a Pika likes the mini TFT TV.
Cool.
And McGruffin loves the mirror project. Yeah, it's super cool. And then Liz is saying that, yep, you sent over the Fusion model of it, so it's
I'm
almost done.
I know, it's halfway there.
Almost done.
Yeah, but she was able to use the PCB mounting
The mounting
holes
holes is, the
create
most
it that
important
way.
part, yeah.
Yeah, I just need to make you don't have to make the thing, but I really want to make the top scrolly bit.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like a basic model.
I mean, it's
still
good
want the
for,
pins to be
you know,
right.
figuring out the height of...
The height and the clearances.
The clearances.
Yeah. Depending on what you're doing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool.
Hello to Make Tech from Australia.
Hello. Welcome to the
morning.
show. All right, so that's this week's community make. The time lapse anyway. We have 2 makes that were sent to us, so let's run through this really quick. We're doing good on time, so feel free to add stuff and comments, folks, while you got us here, but we'll see you tonight again. All right, so this one is a make of the Raspberry Pi enclosure for the use with a HQ Pi camera. Rozo posted this up with their make. It says, decided to print this out, but wanted to make a fan version of the back cover so I can hold my 25mm Raspberry Pi fan and connect the GPIO header pins. Very cool. So let's see, and it's got a good,
Sweet.
good kind of rig here for your Raspberry Pi camera project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the open back there, it's nice. Yeah, it's a good kind of case to kind of build on top of too if you want to remix and add on pieces to it. Most of it snap fits, but it also has a lot of hardware, nylon hardware and standoffs for securing to the various pieces. But cool, yeah, looks good. And thank you, Rozo, for posting that up. Your make. All right, next up, the last one here this week. You might remember those LED signs. Over here, No Mana posted up their make and rated it. It says cool print, and they printed out the lightning bolt. Yeah, so check it out. Yeah, that's my favorite one too, kind of. I mean, I like the cat one, but the lightning bolt's kind of the first one I made.
Looks good with the animation on it.
Yeah, that's the one behind us right there. I kind of want to trim that excess there because I didn't use the full length because it's just the shape of it. But yeah, I kind of want to reshape it a little bit. Cool, and that is this week's community makes. Thank you everybody for posting your makes.
Checking on over the notes. I think that's it for the show.
Yeah, how about it? Cool. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. We invite you to come on Show and Tell tonight. I think it's going to be hosted by Lamar and Phil, or perhaps me and Pedro, or maybe even JP and Liz.
We don't know. It's a surprise.
We don't even know. Sometimes we were like 5 minutes before we're going to go, all right, we're going to host, and then it turns out, well, we're not hosting. But hey, we love hosting, and it's always fun to do so. We invite you to come and share your stuff with us. We'd love to kind of see what you're working on. Retro gear is fun. Workspaces. It's been a while since we had a nice tour of a workspace or something. But all's fair, and we hope to see you all there.
Right, after that's going to be Ask an Engineer at 8 p.m.
That's right.
Full hour with Lamar and Phil, looking at all the cool new products coming out, behind the scenes, and what's going on in Maker Business.
Get that 10% discount with a special code.
Don't forget
only
that
available on Ask an Engineer.
Yeah. And then tomorrow,
Mañana.
kicking it
JP's
off.
workshop. Check out with JP every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Fridays, we got a deep dive with Tim, Foamy Guy. Scott might return at some point, but right now we got Tim every Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific or 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's take a look at the rest of the shows. On Sundays evenings, you can tune in to From the Desk of Lady Ada, where she has got some top secret stuff, what she's working on, and the Great Search with DigiKey. Great segment. On Mondays, we have the CircuitPython chat with the community and the CircuitPython devs. It happens every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, with the exception of U.S. holidays. Next week is a holiday on the Monday, so I think it'll happen on the following day, on Tuesday. So just a programming note. Next week, it'll be on Tuesday. Good thing I remembered. All right, and then on Tuesdays is JP's product pick of the week. This week was the Anno scroll wheel, which was like a $5 thing. It was great. So you got like 50% off or whatever it was.
You're kidding.
Yeah, it was like
so it was $2? Oh, okay, it was $5 with the...
Because
okay.
it's normally $9.
Okay.
So it was like $5.
No, I thought it was $5 originally, and then it was like
Yeah,
the
it'd be like
discount $2.
$2.50. Yeah, so crazy deals with JP. That's why he has crazy thumbnails. Goes with the theme.
the only other place you can get a discount. So definitely tune in
discount.
live.
Yeah, tune in live, and sometimes you can sell out within the first minute. So get on it every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time or 1 p.m. Pacific. And then on Wednesdays we got the 3 Hangouts, Ask an Engineer, and Show and Tell.
All right, cool. Real quick question by Make Tech, asking if we've checked out Slicer inside of Fusion 360.
I have not.
I have not either. I know they do have a slicer.
Yeah, they have some neat things. So that's a good thing. I should check it out. Yeah, it'll be on the list of things to check out.
Yeah, the only
I gotta check out Cura, and I gotta check out.
It's pretty
Fusion,
good.
Yeah,
5.0
just came out. Yeah,
Cura is pretty speedy.
Yeah.
There is if anybody uses like Wacom tablets or like. I think it should be fine with like third party.
Nobody except you.
I know. It's like, oh man.
Who uses the Wacom? Are you a graphics designer?
I know. It's like, what are you?
A graphic artist?
It's like people who do 3D
You're
sculpting.
Like, no, man, I use it to like check my emails and do like basic things. It's just
no, I use it in CAD.
I know. But
it's like,
you also
sculptors.
use it for just everything. It just ergonomically it works for you.
Yeah, it's just my carpal tunnel.
Your carpal tunnel.
And then a question here. Probably just direct that one to the chat room, unless you guys can answer this.
What you got?
Suggestions for cheap, simple LED audio inductor to go between the guitar pedal.
That is a good question for
via
Ask an Engineer.
Quarter
this
mono
is Ask
cable.
a Designer. Right now we're asking a designer. But yeah, save that question for Ask an Engineer. I think Lamar would have fun with that one.
Cool. I think that's it.
All right. Well, thank you everybody so much for joining us. We hope you're inspired and you are doing the thing you want to do.
All right. With that, good luck with all your maker endeavors.
Yes. Stay safe out there, folks. Until next time, make a great day. Bye, everybody.